Hello, dear friends. I'm Roland Gunther, homeopath in Royston and Vancouver Island. And after quite a break, we'll meet again here today in our garden. And I want to show you a plant that not people appreciate really. Look here. This is the Coastal Mugwort, Artemisia. Well, what's the second name? I'm not really sure. In the book it says Ludoviciana, but I'm not sure if that is really true. But what that is, the mugwort, is part of a big group, the Artemisia group of the family. It's a wormwood family, and that wormwood family is all over northern hemisphere used in healing and in ritual. All over North America, all over Europe, Asia, way up till China. Different species of Artemisia, but it's all Artemisia species. What do they have in common? They have something in common that are pretty inconspicuous. They're not very showy. So you see, this is okay. It's past the flowering time, but even when they flower, it's greenish, brownish, no showy petals, no showy, colorful flowers, even though they belong to the composite family, yeah, that have many, like sunflowers and calendula and all of these. They have very showy flowers usually. These ones don't. And, and now there's different species all over. Like further east here, the prairies, they have the prairie sage. That's this one. And that's also how it looks, almost like silvery green leaves, how it looks also when it's flowering. This is after the flower, so almost going to seed. And but it's really yeah. And the people, the immigrants called it sage, even though it does not have anything to do with the sages that we otherwise call sage, like the garden sage that we use for spice in the kitchen and stuff like that, because they are not from the salvia sage family, they are wormwood. Now, this is really interesting, yeah? All over they are used in ritual, in ceremonies, religious ceremonies, and in healing. And it means something that they are not showy. It means they are not, their energy helps us not to go out in the world and take the world in, but it's the opposite. Here you go inside, you do the inside work, the deeper work that does not show much to the world. Life has a rhythm. Like our most obvious rhythm is our breath, yeah, breathing in, breathing out. In breathing in, we take the world in, and in breathing out, we let it go again. We eat, we feed ourselves, and we rest and digest and let go again. And so it's also in certain times of our lives where we are more turning towards the outside world and do work in there and let the world fill us. And then we need to have time where we simply hold our space and look inside and digest and what life got us. And when we have a daily practice of that, like in meditation and resting, contemplation, that is beautiful. Then we have this daily balance, like breathing in, breathing out. And it's something really important in order to be in balance. Other than that, we easily get overfed and things pile up inside without being really digested. And there's also times in our lives, like I'm in my early 70s, yeah, and there's a time when we do not so much, again, at least I don't look so much at the world, what does the world has to give me more, yeah, but it's more, how can I digest what the world gave me and give something back? So these are things that uh, these Artemisia species support. And for me, it makes total sense that the native people, for example, on the prairies, they all start with a smudge. They smudge, they roll a ball of these leaves, yeah, like let me You can take some of these leaves, dry or fresh, and put them in your cup and pour hot water over it, and you can drink it as a tea. Or in when it's dry, like this one, yeah, you can roll it like that. You gotta roll it for quite a while, and it until it, it's the result is a ball that's almost like a little bit uh, looks like felt. Yeah, the leaves are broken and hold each other, and then you can just light it, and it smudges by itself. You don't need another coal or anything under it. And it's, let me see if that works here, or if the wind is too, ha, see, that's how it works, yeah. No coal, anything needed. You light it, and it's glowing through slowly, yeah. And you can breathe in the smudge and waft it over yourself, and that's a beautiful beginning of a meditation, of a contemplation, of a prayer. So that's something I tried out, yeah. And yeah, the and it takes us, this plant takes us a little bit into our inner world and lets us focus on that. When I talk about that, I remember this Rilke poem when it says, "Work of the eyes is done. Now go and do hard work inside." This is very beautiful. Yeah, it's a work of the face, work of the eyes is done. What we do in order to show off in the world or represent something, that is done. Now do work in your heart. This is what it does. And it also means that we turn towards these sides that are not necessarily comfortable. They all have something in common. They all taste really bitter. That means they are great support when we want to look, when we need to digest some of the bitter aspects of life that were maybe in the past difficult to deal with. So we carry, and when it's difficult to deal with, sometimes they get not completely digested, and we carry them along, and it becomes a burden. So again, when we take time to contemplate that, to pray about it, to talk with friends or even with a therapist about it, yeah, and that is really helpful because inside we get lighter, even though we turn towards the bitter side of life. So, and it's in the bitter side of life, in the darker side of ourselves, this is where we find the sacred and where we find healing. And this is when we do that, it helps us to digest life, to become lighter inside, and better move forward into a future that's not only an extension of past uh, trauma, and we carry on like in this endless wheel of karma, what people from the East say, but to do something different. Yeah, so that's what I want to say today. It's a group of plants I really cherish. I love to drink the tea. I love to smudge them. Yeah, and I love to have them in the garden. And when you rub them between your fingers and smell them, they smell wonderful, really. Try it out. Even though something might be bigger, there's a gain in that, and it's a great support for your inner work. Wonderful to see you again, and take care. See you next time.